Welcome to Sarasas Samutsaran School, Science Matayam 1.
Hello everybody! Hello everyone! Hope you're all doing good today. Welcome to our class. My name is Teacher Carla Circolado, and today I will be teaching the subject. So if you are ready, you can bring out your notebook, your pen, and your books, and please pay attention. Let's begin.
Let's begin our topic for today by reading our vocabulary words. Please listen carefully as I read the first set of words. Flowering, flowering. Algae, algae. Fern, fern. Now repeat after me. Flowering, algae, fern. Very good. Now listen again as I read the second set of words. Spores, spores. Pollination, pollination. Shrub, shrub. Now repeat after me. Spores, pollination, shrub. Very good. Now listen again as I read the third and last set of words. Moss, moss. Propagation, propagation. Conifer, conifer. Now repeat after me. Moss, propagation, conifer. Very good. Now let's do our dictation of 3 words. So bring out your paper or your notebook and write as follows. Okay, let's begin. Number 1. Spell the word algae. Number 1. Algae. Number 2. Spell the word shrub. Number 2. Shrub. And number 3. Spell the word spores. Number 3. Spores. Okay, now let's check your answers. Please bring out your red pen. If your answer is correct, please put 1. And if your answer is incorrect, please copy the correct answer beside your answer. Okay, number 1. Let's read and spell together. Algae. A L G A E. Algae. Number 2. Shrub. S H R U B. Shrub. And number 3. Spores. S P O R E S. Spores. Very good. Okay, so we see plants around us. That's why we already talked about the parts of a plant, the pollination process, and also the reproduction. But we also see some plants that are producing flowers and plants that are not producing. So how do we classify those plants? Today, we will talk about the classification of plants. Okay, in part A, all plants flowering and non-flowering. Okay, now repeat after me. Flowering plants are categorized as high-class plants. Very good. So the hierarchy of classification is based on process of development of a plant. For example, the plants here, which is the roses, when they become mature, they will produce flowers. And after flowers, it can be developed into fruits or seeds. Okay, so let's see the bullets right here. First, at the adult stage, so this their adult age. When the plant is at their adult age, they will produce flowers. So this plant already at the adult age, that's why it produces flowers. Then, develop into fruits and seeds. Okay, so this is a rose and this is a pink rose as well. This is the fruit of a rose plant. Okay, this is a rose hips. Okay, the rose flower became the fruit. Okay, let's see another picture right here. So this is a sunflower plant. Okay, so when the sunflower reaches the adult stage, it produces the flower. Then after flower, it will then develop into seeds and fruits. Okay, the fruits of a sunflower is the seed. Okay, we can see the picture here. Okay, it's already developed. That's why it's been taking it out. So we can either eat this or we can plant the seeds. Okay, when we open this, we can eat the fruit inside. Okay, so what stage does this flowering plants produces flower? Very good. At their adult stage. And after producing flowers, what would then they develop into? What do they become? These flowers, what do they become? Very good. Fruits and seeds. Okay, let's see more examples. Okay, another example of a flowering plant is a mango plant, mango tree. Okay, this is the flower of a mango. Then it will develop into fruit. Okay, sometimes mango tastes sweet and sour. Another one is a papaya tree. Okay, papaya plant. This is a flower of a papaya. When the papaya plant mature, it will then produce its flower and then it will develop into fruits and seeds. Okay, now let's talk about another types of plants. Okay, the first one is the herbaceous plant. Everybody repeat after me. Herbaceous plant. Very good. So, herbaceous plants are vascular plants, meaning they can form a large group of plants. Okay, it can be many. Okay, they have no persistent woody stems above ground. So as you can see, there's no stems. Okay, there's no stems like this. Okay, there's no stems from the ground. They will just grow. Okay, from plants to flower. Okay. Next is the shrub. Everybody repeat after me. Shrub. Very good. So shrub or bush is any woody plant. It means inside the shrub there is woody stems. Okay? That have several stems. Usually less than 3 meters, 10 feet tall. So this shrub, they don't grow as tall as the tree. Okay? They are just 3 meters or it can be just up to 10 feet. Okay? That's their only height. Okay? They have woody stems inside the shrub. Now let's move on to the last one, which is the tree. Everybody, tree. Very good. Tree is a tall plant with a trunk and branches made of wood. So a tree is a tall plant. It can grow as far as it can be. Okay, this is the trunk and its branches, thick branches. So the tree is strong and taller than shrub and herbaceous plant. Okay, very good everybody. Now let's ask some questions. What plant don't have or doesn't have any woody stem above ground? Very good, herbaceous plant. Now which is a tall plant with trunk and branches made of wood? Very good, tree. And which one is also called bush? Is any woody plant that have several stems, usually less than 3 meters. Very good, shrub. Very good, class. Okay, now let's move on to the second classification, which is the non-flowering plants. Everybody repeat after me. Non-flowering. Very good. So non-flowering plants do not carry flowers. Again. Very good. So these plants do not produce flowers and seeds. But how can they reproduce? Okay. They produce spores and cones. Okay, this is what the spores case looks like. Okay, so when it is broken down, it becomes the spores. Same as the cones. Okay, these are the cones. Now let's read this paragraph. Repeat after me. They produce spores or cones that are used for propagation. Very good. So, propagation means reproduction. So, they don't produce flowers, so they do not undergo process of pollination and fertilization, but they use the spores and cones to reproduce. It is what it looks like. You can see from the picture right here, this is the spores of this leaf. It is a fern. This is the spores, the red-brown spores. The next one is the cone. Cones. This plant do not produce flowers and seed, but it produces cones for reproduction. So the cones and spores, they are open to air. They do not have covering. Now let's ask some questions if you really listen. Okay, so what does non-flowering plants produce? Very good. So non-flowering plants produce spores and cones. Okay, spores and cones are used for propagation or reproduction. Very good. Now let's see more examples of a non-flowering plants. Can you please repeat after me? Algae, moss, fern, conifer. One more time, repeat after me. Algae, moss, fern, conifer. Very good. Now let's do our exercise for this topic. Bring out your paper or your notebooks and write as follows. The instruction for this exercise is multiple choice. Please choose the best answer and write the letters. Number 1. What do you call the high-class plants that produce flowers and develop into fruits and seeds? Number 1. What do you call the high-class plants that produce flowers and develop into fruits and seeds? A. Non-flowering plants. B. Flowering plants. Or letter C. Producing plants. Number 2. Which is the example of a flowering plants? Number 2. Which is the example of a flowering plants? Number 1. Letter A. Algae. Letter B. Papaya. Or letter C. Fern. Number 3. What do you call the plant that has several stems, usually less than 3 meters? Number 3. What do you call the plant that has several stems, usually less than 3 meters? A. Shrub. B. Tree. C. Herbaceous plant. Number 4. What do you call the vascular plant that have no persistent woody stems above ground? Number 4. What do you call the vascular plant that have no persistent woody stems above ground? A. Shrub. B. Tree. Or C. Herbaceous plant. And number 5, what do you call the plants that do not carry flowers? Instead, they produce spores or cones. Number 5, what do you call the plants that do not carry flowers? Instead, they produce spores or cones. A. Non-flowering plants. B. Producing plants. Or letter C. Flowering plants. Thank you so much, students. Now we will have our summary. Today, we talk about the classification of a plant in Part A. So what are the classification of plants in Part A again? Very good. Flowering and non-flowering plants. And we also tackle some examples of flowering plants. Can you give me some examples of a flowering plant? Very good. We have rose, hibiscus, sunflower, mango, banana, and papaya. We also have examples of a non-flowering plants. Can you give me the examples of non-flowering plants? Very good. So algae, moss, fern, and conifer. Very good.
So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you all learned our lesson. Good job, everyone. Don't forget to watch the friendly reminders for your safety. See you again!
Thank you so much, students. Don't forget to wash your hands, wear your mask, stay at home, eat healthy, and we will see you soon. Goodbye!